All right.
So my journey, Dan, is it's moving to a new market is the same journey as someone who's just getting their license.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say you're a divorced woman or a widow or a young man who maybe decided that his profession was not the profession he wanted, like dropped out of
Yeah.
college,
Yeah.
something to that extent. What do you do now? You have bills.
Mm-hmm.
You have to put a roof over your head. You have to get a car to go somewhere. How do you pay for these things? If you're on your own, you suddenly need income.
Right.
So this industry is one of the few industries that is equal opportunity.
Yes.
How much money you want to make does not matter your color, your race, your gender. If you want to make money in this industry, all you have to do is pick up the phone and put your sneakers on and get out there.
Very true. Okay.
So to be at EXP meant that I could help more people. I could not help a lot of agents to learn this industry at the other brokerages I had come from.
Okay.
It was not an environment that was conducive to collaboration.
That's a powerful statement. Interesting.
How many times have you sat in a sales meeting? Think about your past. Number one agent, number two agent.
Mm-hmm.
Does that sound collaborative, or does that sound like you're in competition with the guy next to you?
That's definitely competition. Yeah.
Yeah. We're not supposed to be that way. We're supposed to be on the same side, helping each other. We are a member of the same company. Families, yeah, we fight, we quabble, right? But at the end of the day, your family is supposed to have your back to the world out there.
Yes.
But for some reason, real estate brokerages do not behave that way. They pin us against each other when we're supposed to be helping each other.
Right.
EXP fosters that collaboration in a way that I have never seen at any other brokerage.
I've never looked at it that way, but that's a very accurate statement. I haven't looked at it that way because I haven't been exposed to big box brokerages to the extent that you have. So yeah, that's interesting that they do, because they do. They'll do number one, number two, number three. I've always looked at us as, like, our industry as a whole, as, if you look at the pie, a pie, there's plenty of slices for everybody. There's plenty of opportunities out there for everybody to get their share and their piece of the pie.
Absolutely.
But it's not projected and portrayed that way. It sounds like, from different brokerages.
Well, you don't have ownership in those brokerages.
That's true too.
Who benefits from that? Is it you or is it your boss?
Yeah, your
Right.
boss definitely does in those.
Did we get into this industry to have a boss?
No. Yeah, it's a good point. It's very true.
So when I help you and you help me, yeah, okay, you're in New Jersey and I'm in Dallas, but we're still building the brand that we all have equity in. We all have ownership in this brand.
Yes. And so let's piggyback on that, because I know that your story is one of you. Empowering is very important to you, and helping those who maybe need that little boost, that little push.
Yeah.
Maybe they need, an ear. Maybe they need somebody in their ear to help them. So talk about, let's get into.
What people need right now is money.
Well, yes.
If we look around at our world right now, people need help. Social media, right? Like, what's the number one trending topics? It's coaching, life coaching, business coaching. And people are looking for help. And they're like deserts in need of water right now.
Yeah.
So when I see people that they have a problem and I have a solution,
Yes.
I'm like, come here. Like, I got you.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Right. Yes. And yeah, so the reason I was bringing this up is, again, with your story, I know that let's talk a little bit about giving up this lifestyle that you had to gain real independence.
Yep.
That takes courage to do. Absolutely.
It did.
And what do we define? We always talk about this. Like, what do we define in Nicole courage? Seeing that fear, but plowing right through it and just going. You know the fear's there. You feel it in every bone and inkling in your body.
Yeah.
But what do? You just plow through and go.
I'd love to give myself that much credit.
I will, because it's true. You did it. Talk about it. You did it.
I turned 40 just last month. And this is an interesting time in a woman's life because there's a lot more fear at this age. When you're in your late 20s, early 30s, you know that you have a lot of time ahead of you. When you start getting towards 40, things definitely change. And everyone out there who is this age, you understand exactly what I'm saying. So I want to say that was probably the scariest part of my decision, is to be a woman who is towards the end of my birthing years, to be towards the end of what most men consider the prime, and to decide I'm not in a positive relationship anymore. And even though it's very financially comfortable, and there's, I wasn't in any danger, no physical danger. It just, things had changed. It was not a positive environment anymore.
Okay.
It was really scary to say, hey, I had this lifestyle of, going to Paris, and really anything I wanted, I could have with not even having to ask, really. And knowing that relationship and that dynamic of my life was not positive for me, and then deciding, like, I'm going to give you back Paris and Saks Fifth Avenue, and I'm going to go door knock and cold call instead. Right? Like, if someone were to, like, tell me that story, I'd be like, oh, that's stupid. Why'd you do that?
Sure. If someone said it to you like 5 years ago, you'd be like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah. But you know what, Dan, you bring up an interesting point, because I think that the age is really what was the scariest. To go out on your own when you're about to be 40. At the time I was, almost 40. You do have that thought of like, well, who's going to want me now? Or like, what value do I have as like an older woman, So that was a lot of the fear I had to really face in the mirror and decide who I wanted to be and take responsibility for this woman I wanted to become, no matter how difficult it was. And there was a lot of difficulty involved with making that decision.
Let's talk about that. What was in your head at the time? Did you have like a voice saying, this is insane, I can't do this? Did you have a voice saying, all right, look, we know that we like, talk about it. Because I'm asking because I genuinely can't relate to this, because number one, I'm a male, and number two, I don't have children either, so I can't think of these things in terms of what was in your head. So sure. I'm genuinely curious.
So I was probably a little crazy, honestly. I recently saw this movie, Magic Mike. It's the third one with Salma Hayek. And Salma Hayek says in the movie, and she worded it perfectly, it's not about giving up the money. When a woman divorces or leaves her spouse that's very powerful and very wealthy, she gives up all her friends. She gives up everyone that she really knows. She gives up all of the connections that she had, that she enjoyed. She gives up her lifestyle and everything that she's become accustomed to. And that is 100% spot on. There are people who at one point in my life catered to me, called me, sent me flowers, made me feel like royalty, who if I called them today and said my car was broke down, they would act like they don't know who I am. My life changed dramatically when that relationship ended. And it does mess with your mind a little bit, because it is a part of your self-worth, right? If you think, if that's the stuff that's important to you, now you've lost your self-worth. Who are you now without your partner?
Yeah. And
this is something that most people who go through divorce or widows, they deal with, right? And then you have to figure out, okay, now I've lost everything. What do I do from here? How do I build me? Like, what's next? And for me, I just put my head down And I became somebody that not only my kids could look up to, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm like really proud of me. I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, you the man. No,
Yeah.
you the man. And that's a really different feeling, to actually be proud of who you are.
You said something very powerful. I just wrote this down. I wrote, how do I build me? How did you?
You know, I think one day at a time. I'm still building me. You know, I'm still learning how to, you know, I'm in a new environment with new people, new customs. They're, you know, I'm used to Hoboken people.
Sure.
And, you know, the other moms at the school where my kids go to, they kind of look at me like, you know, is she going to try to steal my husband because she's single? You know, they look at me a little bit like that.
Yeah.
So I'm still figuring out how to, you know, find my way in this new world of mine. But how I build me is by choosing every day to be someone better. So what I mean is decisions. You know, sometimes you do things that you know are not right, but you did them because your life was convenient or comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
I have since decided I don't want to do that. I'm not proud of that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do something different this time. And I'm very mindful of like, that's not right. I need to correct my behavior.
That's powerful. That's powerful. And I imagine that comes from, well, I should say this, what's true for me is when I have decisions like that, choices, I should say, they're not even decisions, they're really choices.
They're choices, yeah.
Your life, every day, your whole day is based on choices. You choose to get up, you choose to, you know, exercise, you choose what to put in your mouth when we're stuffing our face with food. We choose what to do, we choose who to talk to, we choose how long to prospect, we choose, you know, everything in your day is basically a choice.
Yeah.
And then there's an effect of that choice. You choose this, then this happens. It's an if then. If you do this, then this happens. If you do this, then this happens. So for me, those decisions, I'll get a feeling in my heart of hearts when I know that something that I'm thinking of doing might not be serving my highest and best use.
Correct. Absolutely.
So I'm going to imagine that was true for you too.
100%.
Okay. And feeling that way and knowing that, I mean, again, now this has to be very empowering to go from, I don't know, jumping around to jet set into Morocco and Paris and wherever else you were going, to, you know, but knowing that there could be a better way. I'm kind of not even in touch with who I am as a human, as a person, as a woman, as a powerful woman. To go from that to, all right, now I'm actually like building myself and putting these bricks. We've talked, Nicole, about putting bricks of yourself, brick by brick, of who you are, what you stand for, you know, things of that nature, everything that defines you as the person.
Yeah.
You're doing this right now.
Absolutely. Every day. And I still make mistakes. We all do, right?
Sure.
But I think it's a matter of owning up to those mistakes. So some of the things that I was doing, I'm not proud of. And I'm owning up to those things. I did this wrong. I will not do it again. And I've learned. And here's what I'm going to do different this time. And that is growth. That is, for me, a huge source of happiness. I would rather be poor and proud of myself than I would or happy about who I am than be rich and miserable, which quite frankly is who I was.
So that's a very interesting statement and a very powerful statement. So I want to say something here that you had mentioned to me once. The hard choice was the right choice. My joy in life, my great joy in life, is now holding the hands of others through their journey the way I wish someone had held mine. Talk about that.
I want anyone out there who's listening to this, if you feel alone in your divorce or your breakup, if you've had hard times, connect with me. I have never felt more isolated in my life than that period. And
Through your divorce, you mean?
we were never actually married, but it was a breakup.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, just really isolating feeling. And I want others to know that they don't have to go through that alone. I know that there's therapy out there. I know there's support groups. But the truth is, if you came from an environment like mine, you can't go to those places. There are too many people who are going to talk about you.
When you say the environment, what do you mean? For someone like me that can't relate.
You know, a part of society that's very close knit and judgmental.
Ah, okay. And did you find that came with the status of
Yes.
income or money?
Correct.
Okay.
You had to keep up the impression, the appearance.
What's the state? Keep up with the Joneses?
Yep.
Got it.
So you are not alone. I'm happy to help you. Anything you would share with me would be private. And I want others to know that it is possible. I want you to look at me and know that you can do it.
I love that this is, because service to others because of a journey that you had is something that I can relate very, very high to because of my journey. Again, my audience knows I had to move in with my mother and father when I was in my mid-30s. Not broke, $60,000 in the red. So we weren't just at zero. We were
Sure.
60 grand, in the depth. So to dig myself out of that day by day, I
Yeah.
had the shirt on last time, one day at a time. Like that's literally what I took it, one day at a time. And now we're at where we're at. So talk about, I guess, you make the decision and you say, all right, you know what? I'm going to now figure out my own self, my own life, who I am, what I'm about, what I enjoy, and to make my own money and to be very successful at earning my own income
Sure.
through skills,
Mhm.
actually taking, not really, I guess, having the wherewithal to pick up a phone and understand and know what to say to a
Yes.
seller or a buyer. So let's talk about that.
That is a great question. So I'm currently going through a legal battle right now that's based on envy. And I was talking about this with a girlfriend of mine, and I said, you know what? Someone could take all my money. Here's what they could never take away: my ability to make money.
Mm.
And that skill I'm so grateful for because it will always provide for me and my
Awesome.
children.
It's awesome. How did that start? Let's talk about it. So we didn't really get into how you became, because you weren't a prospector.
No, I was not a prospector.
Mm-hmm.
So prospecting is, for anyone who's not familiar with the term, it's picking up the phone and calling a stranger and asking them in some sort of fashion, when do you plan on moving? And having a conversation, a credible, real conversation based on their intentions and how you can help them. So the scripts that I was using were kind of a hodgepodge of different real estate trainers. Some were pretty famous ones. Some were trainers that I just bought their book online. And I just started making those calls. And if one line didn't work 10 times in a row, I didn't use that line anymore. If one line started getting me somewhere, I used that line more often.
Interesting.
So for me, it was trial by error. But what I learned is that the more deals I did, the more confident I became. And that confidence and that experience, again, you can't take that away from me now. I know what to do and how to do it in every situation because I've done it before.
Right.
And that is probably the most valuable part of the business. It's great when you fail because now you're never going to do it again. Every time you mess up and that deal falls apart, you just learned a $10,000 lesson or whatever your commission is.
Sure.
You'll never make that again.
Right.
And now when you get on the phones with people, you have a really high level of competency and they feel it. They can feel your energy on the phone and they want to work with you because you're a nice person who genuinely cares. And guess what? you have the skills to actually do something for them.
I love that. I mean, look, I'm going to speak to the audience. Guys, I've preached this since we started. Look, confidence comes from skills. Skills comes from practice. I run the role play group. Exactly what Jess is talking about is what we do every morning in the role play group. 7:30. I do 7:10, 7:30, and 11:30. So if you are interested and want to jump on, or at least find out how to go from a market where you're successful and then go to a completely different market, but take those skills with you to become successful in any market across the country, just reach out to me and we will show you what it takes to get those skills so you can pick up the phone anywhere. Arizona, Vegas, California, New Jersey, Texas, or anywhere else you are.
Whoop, whoop.
And make that money and serve the public.
One of my new agents is in Dan's role play group. Guess how much money she made in February in commissions?
How much?
$46,000.
Really? Just from learning what to say?
Brand new agent. Those are the deals she closed.
Wow.
She started in November.
That's fantastic. I love
She's
that.
in your role play group.
I wonder who. We don't have to say
I'm not going to say a name.
Yeah, you don't
She won't like that.
No, but I love that she's in the role play group because again, all it is just agents that are hungry. They want skills because again, they want to serve. They want to better themselves, their family, and their business in that order. That is what we do at the Elite Builders. We create leaders. These people are now going to go on and lead and either run their own role play group, get their own team. So their own team can then again help serve again, like Jess is doing. She literally took herself and moved to a completely different state and started with nothing and now has a team and she's consistently producing success and deals and helping serve the public.
Thanks,
So
Dan.
I love it. I love it. So, all right, now you're there and we're talking about skills. What brought you to, I guess, starting to learn? Did you see, you had these hodgepodge of scripts, really wasn't kind of, you weren't honed in and zoned in on really what to say, how to say it, and how to say it with confidence. Talk about how you found to where you're at now.
I started writing down what was working, and I also started writing down like common questions, common objections, and trying out different handlers. So I learned a lot from my coach, Aaron Novello. But sometimes the way that one person will say something may not work for you. And sometimes the way you say things become unique to you. And it's not ego driven. It's just a matter of what people respond to.
Sure.
So it was a lot of trial by error for me. The most important thing is that I went out and did it. So many agents, Dan, I'm sure you see this a lot. They're getting ready to, about to, going to, okay, I'm almost there. And by the time they feel confident, another agent who didn't know Billy from Bob has closed everything that they were getting ready to do because they went out and figured out what worked and what didn't work. I had a gal I met at Liberty here during pandemic. I helped her get her her license, and she started working with me. And I learned so much from this gal. She was brand new. She her job that she had during pandemic ended, and she didn't have money to pay her rent. I actually found out that she needed the help because we would walk our dogs like in the dog park.
Dog park. Sure.
And it was 3:00 in the morning in March. I don't know if you guys remember during pandemic, it was like around this time 3 years ago.
It was March 20th, I remember.
Yeah. So it was snowing and it was 3:00 in the morning. And I see this girl out there with her dog and she's crying in like a t-shirt. And I'm like, what's going on? She tells me, I lost my job. I don't have the money for rent. I fed the dog, but I didn't have food. I said, okay, here's what we're going to do. You're going to get your license, and I'm going to pay for you to get your license. You'll pay me back in your first commission, and I'm going to give you a little bit of a draw on your first, first check.
Look at you.
And this girl got her license, and she was actually the one who said to me, hey, I speak Portuguese. No one's serving the Ironbound right now. I want to go knock doors in the Ironbound all I need you to do is tell me what to say in English, and I'll say it in Portuguese.
Okay.
This gal, we worked together she got her license in like 3 weeks, by the way, like record time.
Mm-hmm.
I think she was licensed in May. I think it was like the first week in May. We worked together until I left in August.
Okay.
She made like $140,000 before I left.
Brand new agent.
Brand new agent. She did. I mean, I'm telling you, like, she knew nothing. Her English, she was like, I feel more comfortable prospecting in Portuguese and Spanish because I'm not great in English.
Sure.
Never an excuse.
Mm-hmm.
Never once, oh, well, I think I should quit because I don't speak good English. It was, okay, I speak a language. Where can I go to be valuable?
Right.
And her mentality actually taught me a lot, because I said, if this brand new person who just got her license can just go out and start talking to people and make herself valuable, how can I, an agent who's been licensed for 7 years, doing luxury, doing, $6 million condos in Miami.
Yeah.
How can I sit here and pretend like I need to get ready to just go out there and do it?
Mm-hmm.
So I learned a lot from this person. And what everyone else can take from this is that your excuses get in your way.
Yeah. Wow. Say that again.
Your excuses get in your way. But you know what else can happen when you flip it? Your mentality can help you get in a new market.
Yes, it can. Yes, it can. And you are a prime example of it. It is very, what's the word? Inspiring to watch somebody go from one market to another market, because I say it all the time on the show, like, this stuff travels. Your skills and the mentality you have, it travels anywhere. But to see someone actually go and do it is even more motivating and inspiring, because I can say it till, the cows come home. But if you haven't seen somebody actually do it, it's a different story.
All right. So can I break news here?
Go. There we go. A Dan the Man exclusive. Nicole, you got this?
So my daughters play softball, and one of them is very good. And the best place to raise a softball player is California. I'm actually be getting the licensing there, and likely will be there soon.
Wow. Look at you. So from Jersey to I'm just
moving west.
You're just going west. It's just taking the horse and buggy. You're just traveling across.
But
wow.
It's such a freeing experience, because if we look at the generation before us of realtors, if you were a Millburn, New Jersey realtor, you didn't even go to Livingston.
Yeah.
That was your farm. Everyone knew you. They had your pens with your face on it.
Yep.
And we felt stuck. Like, realtors back then were stuck. Your market was your business, and you had to be there, and you couldn't miss a showing. But that's not the case anymore. Yeah. You can if you have the skills, you can work any market you want, and you
100%.
Don't need to be limited.
100%. Wow. So California.
So we're probably going to end up in California.
Wow.
I'm thinking like San Diego, because it looks like they have nice weather.
I mean, it's 80 and sunny every day there. I have friends that are in Dana Point. And,
it's beautiful.
Oh, yeah. They're just like, it's power. I mean, there is something, and we'll do a quick sidebar. There is something about New Jersey weather that I appreciate, because you get all 4 seasons. But the problem is the shitty seasons last too long.
It's true.
Yeah. That's the problem.
That is the difference, actually, between Texas and New Jersey. Like, our bad season is 2 months. Yeah. Yours is like 4 or 5.
Oh, please. It's almost 6
yeah.
at this freaking juncture. But, wow. So that's big time. So now you're going to be taking, I love it. So let's parlay this. You're going to take your skills from Jersey to Texas to California. So twice you're going to start from scratch and build up.
Yeah.
That's powerful, man. How's that? I mean, all right. So if that were me, I know me. I'm going to, again, courage. I'll plow through it, but there will be moments of fear. There will be moments of anxiety. There will be moments of, what the fuck am I doing? There'll be moments of that. What is going on inside of you?
I'm always going to do what's best for my children. It's no fear involved when it comes to them. So if my daughter tells me I want to be a D1 top prospect, I'm going to put her in the position to get what she wants. And if that means moving to California, let's go.
Yeah. Awesome.
Get
I love it.
get your bat.
Yes. I mean, listen, this is big news. I mean, I didn't know that. I'm thinking, I can refer people down to you in Texas, and you.
Oh,
send
you
them,
sure can. Our team of EXP builders are there.
Yeah.
We have the Italian cowboy. you guys have probably seen him. He's great. We have Kelly Nadiri. We have a great team down there who will continue to service all of our Dallas business.
That is great, though. Congratulations. I mean,
thank you.
I had no idea, so that's good for you. I'm really happy for you.
You're the first to know.
Wow, look at that. See, Nicole, there are people that still consider Dan the Man special.
Dan's very special.
They're out there. They're very few and far between, but they're out there. You're looking at over $10,000 in value that other agents that aren't partnered with EXP pay. And when you do partner with us, these are all free. They're literally all free. So if this is of interest to you, just reach out to me. Again, you can subscribe to the channel, Dan the Man Talks Real Estate. I'll send you more information about it, or you can reach out to me on the other platforms, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook at Daniel Masrobian, and we'll send you all the information you need to get you started on, again, just building your life and partnering with us to be literally the best version of yourself that you can be.